Daniel's coming up for 25. He's come from beginnings of, I guess he wasn't meant to survive past the age of 2. And by great luck, he went to mainstream schooling in the little school just across the road from where we're sitting now. That was incredibly pivotal because it meant that he went to school with typical children and made friends. He loves being around people. He forms his own styles of talking to people, with especially blokes. He does love nature. He particularly loves watching birds and being outside. We're sitting in the patio of his home, and he rents it, and he lives with his best mate. He's known since year 8, that's Reese. That isn't something that I would have envisaged for his future.
I met Jo and Dan many years ago, and they've used the Independent Living Centre for a range of different things over their communication journey to find a functional communication system for Dan. Communication is a basic human right. We want communication to be accessible to everybody. So just like somebody might receive a wheelchair if they're unable to walk, we want people to know that there are communication aids and technology out there to enable them to talk. And sometimes people get access to these sorts of communication aids from very early on, maybe during their early intervention, whereas other people might not find the right communication system for them until they're much older.
He has a language system called POD for short, Pragmatically Organised Dynamic Display, which is a big mouthful. And you know, it's only 4 years ago that we got introduced to this. But what I love about this is that it gives him the language, and he learns the language as you and I learnt when we were at school or prior to going to school.
We've looked at mounting systems so that we can position the communication aids for Dan on his wheelchair so he has access to them wherever he goes, and that's where we get our occupational therapists and speech pathologists involved together. Jo knows that she can pick up the phone and contact our technology team at the ILC just to ask any sorts of questions, to learn about new technologies that are available to support Dan's communication. Dan has the opportunity to be able to trial the technology both in appointments and also accessing our hire service. It's just so important for Dan that he can trial the technology in his own environment and in a way that he's comfortable with.
His happiness radar, for the most part, is really high now compared to what it used to be. And I think that most of that is around communication. Communication is absolutely everything.
Because he's got these words, this way to express himself by using the symbols in the communication book, he can tell us so much more.
I think part of what the communication support has led to is his personality emerging really fully. He is someone who thinks deeply about what is offered, what the choices could be. This is just amazing to me.
The reason I keep going back to the ILC is because there is such a level of expertise that I can tap into. This is a service that I just hope goes on forever. Who knows what the future holds for him? I've learnt that I won't have any limits on it. But certainly around communication, it's all up from here. We were told that he would develop to the intellect of a 6-month-old child. That's what we could expect if he survived. This isn't the intellect of a 6-month-old child. This is somebody who deeply understands social stuff, the stuff that's going on around us, and yeah, it's amazing.